What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another Tottenham update. We haven't actually brought you a Tottenham update in a while, but there is quite a bit to talk about today.
Son's not still signed his contract yet. We're still waiting,
exactly. That was the last one we brought you. Son was about to sign a contract. Nothing has happened on that front just yet. But let's talk about ESPN and let's talk about their mocking of Harry Kane. I'm going to play you the video just before we get into it. So let me play it for you now.
You know, he is probably the most...
I was like, do I have to talk about this mofo?
It's just really boring, isn't it?
He is.
He
I hate hearing it. I hate hearing him speak. He's got such a weird voice.
They'll do it in the style of Harry Kane.
Yeah. Do the whole thing in that. Yeah, that's what stands out about him.
Yeah, his voice, literally. Someone who speaks like that, thank God he plays football.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go from the top.
So that was Alexis Nunes and Mark Ogden and an on-screen producer just caught pretty much very disrespectfully mocking Harry Kane in the way he talks. I mean,
yeah, it wasn't nice to see at all. And especially, you know, they're mocking the way he speaks. There's nothing to do with you know, him as a player, him as a person, and Alexis calling him a mofo. I like what's he ever done to like deserve any that kind of like not criticism, but like I don't want to call it abuse because it was like an off-air discussion which got aired accidentally, so it wasn't like they were broadcasting this. But I don't know why they seem to have so much contempt for him. It's very odd, and then they're mocking the way he speaks. But look,
it seems like they're just bitter, like really bitter about him.
Strange.
I just don't get it whatsoever. This guy just announces himself into the top 10 Premier League goal scorers of all time, and this is all they have to say about him.
And you know, Mark Ogden's starting to talk about it, and then obviously he like screws up his line or something, so they start again. And he's like, oh, do I have to talk about him? It's like, I don't understand why they have so much contempt for Harry Kane. He's England captain. He's literally never done anything wrong. And they seem to have a lot of negative feelings about him, which is very strange. They have both since apologised. Mark Ogden saying an inappropriate conversation with our producer was accidentally posted publicly for a short time before being taken down. Our comments were clearly disrespectful and regrettable. We have the utmost respect for Kane, a consummate professional and a role model to youngsters. We have contacted Tottenham to sincerely apologise directly to Spurs official and to Harry, in addition to the club supporters and to the ESPN audience. And Alexis also had made an apology saying, I'm truly sorry for the comments we made during a discussion that was inadvertently posted online. They were uncalled for and insensitive. I have the highest regard for Harry Kane, an accomplished athlete. He deserves better from us, as do the fans. We've learned a lesson from this unfortunate mistake. And again, I apologise to Harry and Tottenham Hotspur.
So basically what they're saying is, I don't have any respect for Harry Kane, but I'm going to apologise to keep my job. Pretty much. Pretty
much. They look, this is clearly how they talk about him off air, isn't it? So it's clear that they don't have that much respect for him. But look, it is what it is. These people are supposed to... What's annoying is these people, you know, they work for ESPN, which, you know, not supposed to be geared towards any clubs. They're supposed to be, like, impartial and everything. And it was very disrespectful, and I didn't like those comments. However, it was an off-air... It was an off-air discussion that wasn't meant to be aired. It was supposed to be private. So I don't know how to feel about it.
Still, even in a private conversation, why mock Harry Kane's voice?
Yeah,
what's
but people
in
private, when they don't think they're off-air, and when they you know, everyone says things in private which they wouldn't want public, don't they? They're not the only people in the world who would have a conversation like that in private. That they knowing that thinking is not going to be aired might say things that they not, you know, that just to be funny or whatever in the moment. Sorry. Just to be like funny in the moment or whatever, or just say things just to say them like in private.
It didn't seem like they were trying to be funny. They seemed like pretty serious comments. No one was laughing. No one was smiling. It was just like
they were
pure disrespect for Harry Kane.
It was, but they were kind of laughing and joking like with each other kind of thing. So I don't know if like people going after him make them lose their job or whatever. I don't know. It's a difficult situation because it was just aired by accident. It wasn't meant to be public. And I'd never like when private conversations are aired publicly and then people judge people for that. Unless it's something really egregious. I'm not really in favour of that. But obviously, look, I'm not going to say I liked what I saw because I didn't, and it was really disrespectful, and it was really odd. I would say really odd the amount of contempt they seem to have for him, and there's definitely something they should look seriously into internally for sure. But in terms of Spurs fans piling on and trying to get these people to lose their job and whatever, I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to watch ESPN and see these two.
I don't watch ESPN. Listen, I don't watch. Who watches ESPN?
Either way, I don't want to watch ESPN and see these two guys comment on Tottenham Hotspur because you know what they're saying in the back end, or you know what they're thinking in the back end. So I don't want to see these two guys ever report on Tottenham.
Fair enough. I don't want to watch ESPN anyway. It's a dead channel. Like all their pundits are awful. They're always
Clearly.
terrible. They're terrible. No, it's not just that show. They have another show with all these other pundits, and they're just always terrible takes and just like nonsense. And it's just they don't have the best takes, ESPN, to be honest. But look, I don't know. I don't want to start calling for people's jobs on the channel, like on my YouTube channel. That's not how I feel about this. I don't feel like that angry that I want them to lose their job. But yeah, I agree. I don't want to see them talk about Tottenham again. That's true. That's my feelings. But I'm not going to start calling for them to be sacked or anything.
And aside from this, why is there such a lack of respect for Harry Kane in the game? Tell me why. Because everyone's going on about him, about diving and stuff this weekend as well. I mean, when anything Harry Kane does, it just gets polarised so much and everyone just loves having a dig at him. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. People were comparing the language being used towards Harry Kane and being used towards Mo Salah over the weekend. But apparently people were saying Salah was cheating, but Harry Kane was being clever. But I think Kane, the way he dealt with on Sunday, the foul that Lallana did on him, it was a foul. I don't know why people are saying Kane was putting Lallana in dangerous position. Lallana barged into the back of him, whether he likes it or not. Yeah, Kane positioned himself like that, but Lallana still completely got done. It was Lallana's fault for fouling him. Lallana's got to be smarter than that, than to barge into the back of Kane. So it was clever what Kane did. And in terms of Mo Salah, people say he's cheating. I don't think it was cheating. I think in this day and age, when you are fouled and it's not obvious that you're fouled, you have to exaggerate it, otherwise you're not getting the penalty. That's the sad fact of the reality. And a lot of players get criticised for exaggerating touches.
In this day and age in VAR, do you still need to exaggerate it?
Yeah, because if you don't go down, you don't get the penalty. Fact.
You can still go down, but what's the point of like screaming and rolling around and this kind of stuff?
Because that's how you got to get the attention. It's how you got the.
You're saying that VAR won't look at it if you don't scream or roll around. Like, come on. Surely they will still.
No, not always. Not always. Even nowadays, there are fouls which, if you don't make a big enough stink of it, they won't get checked. That's the sad fact of the matter. If you're in on goal and you get and someone like gets a kick at you, but it's a foul, but maybe not necessarily enough to bring you down. If you don't go down, you're not going to get the foul.
I understand the fact of going down, but I don't understand the fact of screaming like you've just been shot and rolling around like you can't get up, and then you get up 2 seconds later.
Yeah, but that's not cheating. Yeah, but it's not cheating.
I don't.
It's not. I get. Yeah, but I get that. Okay, fair enough. Players probably shouldn't do it, but it doesn't mean they're cheating for doing it. It means that they're trying to exaggerate. Exaggerate to make sure that they get the foul that they probably should get. And if they don't, the players feel like if they don't exaggerate it, the referees won't pick up on it. And I can understand that, because so many times I've seen players stay on their feet and when they've been impeded, and then they don't get the decision. And people never talk about that. But yeah,
and they were also going in on Harry Kane for the supposed dive in the last few minutes of the game as well.
Well, it wasn't. It was like about an hour in, wasn't it, when he dived?
When him and Son both went down in the same action kind of thing.
Yeah, he went down very easily there, I must say. He did go down very easily, but yeah, it's hard to say. He did go down easily, but he's not the only player to do it. Every player in every team will try and get contact from other players, and that's how the game is.
All right, let's move on. But look, it is disgraceful, the comments made by the two on ESPN. There's no two ways about it. Let's move on to Pochettino on Sky Sports last night. It was great to see him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nice
Him and
to
his
see him.
nice long hair.
Yeah,
you know?
he looks like a different man.
He said though, if he does get another job, it's going to go. He's going to shave it,
he
cut
said.
it off again.
Yeah, look, it was nice to see him. It was nice. He looked confident. He looked
happy, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he did look happy. He looks like he's had a nice rest, but he also looks like he's ready to get back into it, get back into the job. And he didn't tell us too much about Carragher and Dave Jones tried to get into him a bit and trying to get into his time at Spurs, but he didn't really say anything we didn't really hear before. Unfortunately, he didn't give away too many details, and he still has a lot of respect for Tottenham. I think he doesn't want to talk too much.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I think he's still in love with the club. I don't think that that's going to go away anytime soon. Even if he's in another job, he's still going to be in love with Tottenham. There's no two ways about that. I love the way he talks about the club. I love the respect he has for the club. But look, Pochettino always plays poker with his cards face down. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not one to give anything away.
Yeah, for sure. And he was asked about whether he looks at Tottenham now and he's frustrated potentially of that he didn't get the money that Mourinho's getting at the moment and the ability to spend. But he said no. He said, when I was at the club, they're in a different evolution, and he hopes Tottenham go on to win trophies with Jose, who's a good friend of his, and he has the utmost respect for. And he says the club and the players deserve a trophy, so he has nothing but respect for the club, and he still loves Tottenham, and he hopes that he gives them every success.
He'll be back one day.
I hope so.
I really believe that. I really do believe that. The only kind of news he did bring was about the Champions League final. They mentioned to him, would you change anything in hindsight, obviously with the Lucas Moura and Harry Kane thing, and he said no.
Yeah, he said if he has a chance again, he'll do exactly the same thing. He'll pick Harry Kane because he said Harry Kane was fit. He was one of the best players in Europe. You can't have any doubts about Harry Kane ever. And he said if he given his time again, he would play Harry Kane again. So that was a little bit of a nugget of information. And he was talking about Dele Alli as well, comparing him to some of the mavericks of the past, like Ronaldinho and Maradona, not because of his playing style, because of his personality and who he is. And he says
how he
really
influences the younger generation and that kind of stuff.
And he says he's an amazing person, but he didn't want to comment about his struggles at the moment. But it's interesting, he could have commented because he started struggling pretty much under Pochettino, didn't he? It wasn't just now. This all
stems from Poch's time at the club.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a continuation of the back end of
Pochettino.
Worse. Yeah, exactly. So maybe he could have spoken a bit about why he struggled at the back end of Poch's era, but he didn't want to talk about that. He didn't want to be disrespectful to Jose and to the current setup at Tottenham.
All right, and that kind of moves us on to more about Dele Alli, because Eric Dier has been making comments about Dele Alli. What are those comments?
Yeah, he was doing an interview. I'm not sure who for. And one of the quotes was saying, Dele has the capacity, we all know. Dele has the capacity. We all know his quality. We all know what he brings. He's shown that in the past. It's really up to him to put in the work, the effort, the commitment, and I'm sure he will do that. And I thought that was quite an interesting comment, because he says here it's really up to him to put in the work, the effort, and the commitment. That kind of implies he's not doing that at the moment.
And especially when it comes from someone that's so close to Dele Alli as well. I mean, that is quite surprising, those comments. I mean, because I thought with him starting in the Europa League last week meant that he was trying hard and he was putting his shift in training and stuff like that. But now Dier's come out with this, it's making me think otherwise.
Yeah, it is very interesting comments, because you wouldn't say that about I don't know, and maybe another player is struggling. He has to put in the effort and the commitment, but he's saying that about Dele. He's saying Dele, we know how much quality he is, but he needs to put in the work. He's not saying he's not, but he's saying he needs to do that. So he kind of implying that he's not.
Yeah.
And I think, as you say, someone who's very close to Dele, one of his best friends of the club, for him to say that makes me think that maybe there is a issue with Dele at the moment, and that's why he's been very much in and out of the team. And coupled with Jose's comments after the Antwerp game as well, there's clearly something going on with Dele. Although he does pick him every now and then. So maybe
mainly
he's showing
mainly in the Europa.
Yeah, so maybe he is showing something. But yeah, his first half against Everton was pretty bad.
Well, a lot will be told on Thursday night. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I guess we'll see if he starts on Thursday. I guess we'll see. For some reason, I don't think he will.
Potentially he might not even be in the bench.
Well, no, he has to because there's 12 subs, so he probably
that's
will
true.
be on the bench. But he has to fight for minutes, Dele, and at the moment, maybe the success that he's had previously has maybe gone to his head a bit. He's on a big wage now, 150 grand a week. Maybe he's lost that bit of that edge, that motivation, because Poch was saying on Sky Sports, when Dele first came into the team, he was so sharp, he was so motivated, he was aggressive in his play, he tried so hard to impress in training. He was a youngster from MK Dons, he was trying everything to get in the team, and when he had a chance in the first team, he grabbed it with both hands. And now it's just not the same Dele at the moment, is it?
Poch has also said in the past, I'm not sure if he mentioned it on the Sky Sports interview last night, but he's mentioned in the past that Dele needs to feel loved. And I'm not sure if he feels that under Jose at the moment. Maybe it's something that Dele needs to work harder to get that love. Maybe it is stemming from Dele's fault, but maybe it's not helping his cause as well.
Maybe, but as we said previously, this stems from a problem under Poch. So did Poch not give him love as well? I don't know. It's interesting the fall of Dele Alli at the moment, but yeah, clearly it's not working out. Whatever he's doing, and he needs to improve. And it's a difficult one because Dele Alli is such a player who relies so much on instinct that it's hard to just get that back through training, if so it's something he has to kind of feel on the pitch when that's when he's at his best, when he does magical things off instinct and does a flick over the defender, or things that you just have to feel during the game. And I guess maybe the fact of the matter is when those things aren't coming off, you still need to be putting in the effort for the team, and maybe that's where the issue is coming in, where these things aren't coming off and he's kind of a liability.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I think it's been like that for quite some time now, to be fair.
Yeah.
Apart from a few spurts of form when Jose first came, and there was a bit in between last season as well. So look, we'll have to see how this one plays out. The first signs will come on Thursday night to see if he's starting or not. I really hope he does, because I really want to see Dele Alli back to his best, because we all know and love Dele Alli at his best, and we know what he can bring to the team. Let's move on and let's talk about Graham Scott, as he's been taken off Premier League duty this weekend.
No surprise.
No surprises there. What did you make out of that?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely warranted. Clearly, they haven't made a statement or anything, because usually after these kind of events, the Premier League make a statement, or the VAR, whoever it is, make a statement saying this guy made a mistake. We accept that. They haven't said anything, but I think it's very telling that they've taken him off Premier League duty, because I think. There's no excuse for what happened on Sunday. He looked at the VAR told him to have a look at it, because he clearly made a mistake. It was a clear mistake as well. It wasn't like a 50-50 or anything. It was very clear. He made a mistake and he had a chance to rectify it, look at it, and he decided not to overturn it. It was a criminal act, really, what Graham Scott did on Sunday. And I think absolutely it's deserved that he gets taken off Premier League duty, because you can't have any...
I don't want to see him on Premier League duty for the rest of the season.
Honestly,
seriously.
it was just shocking. I don't know what he was thinking. It was a shocking decision, and I don't know why. He's like saying, oh, maybe he got a tiny little stud onto the ball. It's like, doesn't even matter if he did. First of all, I don't think he did get the ball. People are saying he did. I don't think he did. I don't think he did. Some people say he did.
He didn't.
But even if he did, it doesn't matter, because it was still a foul. He quite clearly gets Højbjerg's ankle very dangerously. It was a booking at worst, at best.
If it's a millimetre to the right, that could break his ankle.
Exactly. It was quite a dangerous challenge for Solly March. So clear foul. I don't know what the referee was thinking, and clearly the FA agree, because they've taken him off Premier League duty, and he has to learn from it, because he can't. I think what Jamie Weir said on his tweet, it was very arrogant from him. It was just like he didn't want to admit that he got it wrong, because he kind of looked very stupid on camera, because he's literally less than a metre away from the incident looking at it.
And he replayed it like 6-7 times.
Yeah, and he just wanted to justify to himself that he didn't get it wrong. Maybe he wanted to, I don't know what it was, he wanted to think, maybe I'm not losing my edge. He wanted to just prove that he got it right.
Yeah.
And he didn't get it right, and he had a chance to overturn it, and he didn't. It was a shocker. So that's his punishment. He deserves not to be picked this weekend.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Let's move on to the final bit of the show. We're going to go through a bit of loan watch for you. Look at the Spurs players which are on loan throughout Europe and see how they're doing. And we're going to start off with Ollie Skipp, on loan at Norwich at the moment. He's started every single championship game since joining Norwich. I mean, He got Player of the Month in September. It's fair to say that he's completely hit the ground running at Norwich. He's one of their top performers this season. Let me just bring you a few stats as well, which I've collated. 1.9 tackles per game. This is averaging. 1 interception per game, 0.8 blocks per game, 57 passes per game, and 89% pass succession rate. So those are great stats, really.
Yeah, and I read from Norwich fans sometimes they really like him.
Yeah,
they think he's really, really good.
They do.
And he's having a great time at centre mid. So I think this loan spell is going well for him, and hopefully, yeah. Look, I'm very excited with how it's going for him. And I'm very happy that he's playing very well and he's getting a lot of game time because I think he needed it. And I'm certain he's going to come back a better player. I really am. And I'm going to be involved in the first team.
I mean, there were quotes from him as well, and he's already come out and said he feels like he's becoming a better player as the games go by. And it's worth noting as well that they play 2 formations at Norwich. One is the 4-2-3-1 and one is the 4-1-4-1, and he plays CDM in both of those formations.
He plays the deepest role.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So that's maybe a sign of things to come. And also Norwich like to get the ball down and play good football. So that's good stuff.
Which means, in my opinion, next season, if he was to be drafted into the first team squad, that you might see a different role for Harry Winks next season, and it might suit him more.
Maybe. Well, instead of playing the deepest role. Yeah, potentially. I think the best role for Harry Winks would be in our team right now would be in place of Sissoko in that role. We haven't.
I just can't see him doing it as
have
well.
Have
as
we
Sissoko,
seen
though.
Højbjerg and Winks together? We
have.
But Winks was the deepest one last time. But now Højbjerg likes to play the deepest one. Maybe we could see I don't know. Maybe Winks and Højbjerg can switch roles and we'll see how that plays out. But at the moment, yeah, Sissoko for sure has the shirt and he deserves it. But maybe that's where I see Harry Winks at the moment in that role.
Let's move on to Ryan Sessin, as he had his first Bundesliga start last night in a 3-1 loss to Union Berlin. It was his second start in a row, second 90 minutes in a row, so he's building some steam. His last start was in a 4-1 win in the Europa League against Ghent. But apart from that, he's only seen 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. So his loan spell at Hoffenheim is really starting to kickstart now.
That's good. Although what I gather, Hoffenheim aren't playing too well at the moment, are they? As you said, 3-1 loss to Berlin. Hopefully he gets more game time. I don't know how he's performed, but I know that he posted something on social media about he was getting a lot of abuse online, which was awful to see. And I don't know if that was on the back of a loss or what it was. But it was
he actually
shocking.
posted it after a game, so I'm not sure if it's to do with people in Germany or something. I'm not sure who the message came from, but the messages that he got were completely disgusting, vile, vulgar, racist behaviour, and it's
horrible.
It's not on in any walk of life.
And Tottenham tweeted out today their support for Ryan Sessin, saying they stand with him through this abuse. No one should have to put up with that, and it's 100% true. It's absolutely disgusting. I can't believe through everything that we've had, since March, all the the BLM protests and everything, that people are still getting this abuse online, and it's so easy for people to give it when they're anonymous and they can't be tracked. But it's just disgusting, and I hate seeing that kind of stuff. And obviously, we stand with Ryan as well through all that abuse, and hopefully, we won't have to suffer through that again. Yeah,
look, I'm sure I speak for everyone watching that we all stand with Ryan Sessin and anyone that suffers this kind of abuse as well. So, it's just not on. It really is not on. But let's move on to Juan Foyth. Obviously, he scored and made an assist on his Europa League and Villarreal debut last week. But so far, he had only played 5 minutes of La Liga football, and the 290 minutes he's played have been both in the Europa League. So he hasn't really kick-started yet in the Spanish league, but he seems to be playing every game in the Europa League for them.
Yeah, at least he's getting minutes there. And I know, as you said, he scored on his debut. But to be honest, I'm not sure we're going to be seeing more Juan Foyth back in the Tottenham shirt again.
I don't think we will be.
Look, I wish him every success for this season and in the future. But and I hope he gets some minutes in his loan spell because he's deserved it. But I don't think he's going to be coming back to Tottenham.
And finally, let's talk about Troy Parrott. Since our last Tottenham update, there is no update. But if you missed that one, we'll just give it to you again, as Troy Parrott yet to make his league debut for Millwall, as he got injured in his full debut in the Carabao Cup against West Brom, going off at half-time. He is back at Tottenham to complete his rehabilitation. Am I boring you?
Huh? Sorry.
Yeah, so that's it. Troy Parrott back at Tottenham to complete his rehabilitation, and as soon as he is back and ready and fit and firing, he'll be going back to Millwall to complete his loan. So that is all the news. It's quite a long update for you today. We spoke about quite a lot of things, and let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on everything we talk about. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.